What's next? Well, I think it's a toss-up between the little buttons and the umbilical to the motherboard. I'm getting very close to complete disaster now. We've only got the buttons, the umbilical, a positive and negative, and the speaker wires and the aerial wire to sort out. And when we've got them on, before we put it in the case, we'll give it a test. So it's that close. The buttons are a little bit tricky, but I must admit I've done what other people have done with them. So if we can get a shot of them. Move. Alright, there's the pad that they go on. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 altogether. And there's a little button, and they have 2 prongs on them on your underside, which we're not going to be able to see, or might be able to. I think it's there and there, and they locate in the 2 holes there. But I thought soldering them was a bit of a no-no. Gluing them is definitely a no-no. Surprising how many car keys people bring to me that they're repaired with super glue. Just doesn't work. And then it takes me ages to get it all off. Right, let's see if we can get this to lie down. So what I propose to do, as I say, is something I've seen other people do, and I did myself. It seems to be quite successful. I can't even get it in the holes yet. Let's see what's happening. No, it's in one hole there. Come on, Fred. Play the game. In there. And in there. Right, it's in. But obviously, if I do anything, it's going to fall straight out. But you can hear that it's in position, because if I press it, it goes. Right, so what I do, or I did with the last one, is pop the 5 little buttons, switches in their respective places, and then I got a bit of clear sellotape and just put it across all 5 of them, and that secured them in place. So that's what I'm going to do now. But first of all, I've got to go and pinch some sellotape. Right, I've just popped the, I've said right again, I've just popped the little buttons into position, the 5 of them. I've been into the house and I've had to fight my wife for the roll of clear sellotape. She didn't want to let me have it and said I've got to fetch it back. So I've got a roll here. I'm just going to pull a couple of inches off of it. not a very good dispenser. Oh, there we go. Right, we have the sellotape ready, and you know what's going to happen, don't you? As soon as I put pressure down on this, they're going to pop off, and they're going to stick to the sellotape, and they're going to do all sorts of weird things. Let's see if we can get this down level. I don't want to go too high up because of the connectors for the umbilical. There's one come off already, look. Oh dear. Let's back down. Another one come off up here. Just try and get a bit of pressure to keep the tape down. Right, I'll take it off the board. There's one on the end. Oh, it's gone back down. It's up, it's down. This tape is stuck to my finger. Right, that's come out of position. Oh God, it would, wouldn't it? Well, I think I'll just fasten the others down there. I'll use me surgical knife just to cut that if I can. And I've got to rotate this piece. I didn't want to do that. It's funny, it's sticking to my hands and every damn thing other than a circuit board. Right, that one's got that one covered. That's the one on the side. We've just got to sort this one out on the end here. It's moved a little bit. Come on, Herbert. Get in there. Try peeling it back a bit. It's gone in now. See if we can get him before he changes his mind. Yeah. We've got them all. That one's not quite right there. I thought we'd got them all in. I'll just have to look under my scope. It's just out a tiny little fraction. Oh, it's gone in. It has gone in, so we've got all 5 of them taped down. That's what I did, and they all work. So now I'll just trim round the rest of it, and that's done. So I'll come back in a second when I've trimmed round it. There we go. That's the way to do the buttons, I think. That looks neat enough. So the next jobby is going to be the umbilical. It's pretty straightforward. They're all marked, but if you keep the umbilical one way, it's easy to see. At the right hand side here we've got VCC, and as long as you keep the orientation the same as the board, you can see VCC there, you just connect them one to one all the way along. No problem. So I'll do that and then I'll come back. The umbilical's now soldered, and I cannot wait any longer. What I'm going to do now is put the wires on the speaker, put the positive and negative wires to the board, and what have we got? Oh yeah, those are the speaker wires, the blue and the white. Black and the red are the supply wires, and this grey one is ethereal. So I will solder those on and I'll come back within a few seconds, and then we'll power it up using my power supply set to 3 volts and see what happens. So what's the betting? Will the LCD come on? Will the radio come on? Will we see smoke? Be back in a minute. This is going to be fun. Well, what I've done is I've connected up the positive, negative wires to the board, the speaker and the aerial, and I've got also the aerial attached to just a length of wire. As I say, I haven't put it in the case yet, so I couldn't attach that aerial. So here we go. We've got the power supply set to 3 volts. That is in the off position because it clicks on down, clicks off. This is going to be fun, isn't it? There we go, there's the negative, and here goes, oh, the positive. Oh dear, it must have been the other way round. Right, that took me by surprise. So with that in the off position, the switch, our LCD is fully alive, which is amazing. I'm just trying to push the buttons to see if anything happens. Nothing I can see there yet. The alarm is on off, that's working. Right, we'll try the radio part again. On. We've got a display. Let's try tuning it. Static. We don't seem to be in the range of any signals at the minute, so I believe what we've got to do is open this. Would you believe the camera died again? just as we were getting to the nitty-gritty. Anyway, as you saw, it is alive, it is receiving, but the frequency range was wrong, and I was partly wrong with just trying to adjust the frequency range with that little coil. In fact, what I should have been doing, and which I have done now, is the tuning capacitor on the back. You rotate with it on, with the radio on and the LCD visible to you. You wind it to its highest, and the highest was about 91 or something megahertz. You use this. It's four tuners, but you use that one. Just see if I can get it to see it. Where are we now? I'm completely lost. Yes, there's the tuner. I'm not going to say the fish tuner again, as it is. So this is the top of the board, this end. So it's not the first one you come to, it's the second one on that side, not close to the edge, that one. You rotate that a bit and then it will alter the frequency so you can get up to 108 megahertz. Let's just zoom back out again, because we want to see that doodah. I know it's upside down, but you just have to stand on your head for a second. So at the moment, as you can see, it's while I went and sorted out my camera, it's been running for an hour, the clock. So I'll just switch the radio back on. Now there's a bit of interference, and that might be that the little telescopic aerial will probably be a tuned length to this radio, so we'll see if it's any better when I'll get it in the box, but it definitely will tune in now, and as you can see we were above 1,000. So we can tune into stations, and I've got plenty of volume now. So everything's working. The next job is to stitch it into its case, and there's just one thing I need to show you about the case, and that is I've lost the piece that was going to show you. Oh no, there it is. In the kit there's this little round plastic peg, which isn't immediately obvious what it is, but what it is an extension to the on-off switch, and it just fits on the top. It's got a square on it, and it fits on like that, and that means that in the case although you've got your 5 buttons, well, 6 buttons. This one where it says power on off has to be removed, so you need to cut it off the sprue just about there, the other side of that little locating hole. Cut him off there, and then the extension comes through just right, so the on and off will work properly. So I'll put it in the case now, and I'll come back in a minute and we'll see what the whole job. Oh no, it won't be a minute because I've got to put the battery connectors on, haven't I? Oh, and I've got to find some AA batteries. I don't think I've got any working AA's, so it might be tomorrow when it comes back on. So that's as far as we go. It's finished, it's working, and as you saw, it works straight off when you've got everything on the board right. So thought I felt a bit of warmth in that chip, but maybe I didn't. So it's drawing 0.07 of an amp according to my power pack. Radio 4, hooray! Hooray! Right, as I say, I think we'll call it finished, but I will just tack on the bit with it in its case, and just to prove that I did have 2, there's the other one. And again, I've got no batteries, so I can't show you that one working either. But that's it. I'll come back as soon as I can with this one boxed up. So bye for now. Just finishing up here. I've attached the positive and negative leads to the battery clips. I've screwed the aerial in and attached it, and now I'm just going to drop a couple of little blobs of hot glue on the back of the speaker to retain it. It's quite an easy way of mounting it. It only needs just a couple of blobs. Put one there, one there, and one by that's it. Done. It is attached. I've just got to screw it all in the case now, so I won't bore you with that. And I have actually found 2 AA batteries, rechargeables. I'd forgotten I put them on charge. So I'll just screw it together, put the batteries in, and we'll see how it performs then. Well, it's in its case. Aerials mounted, so all I've got to do now, and probably while I've put it in the case, it was took longer than I thought. It's awkward getting all the little screws in, and probably it's push something on the LCD. I bet you 10 bob that doesn't light up properly. But we've got 2 batteries, so let's give it a whiz. 2 batteries in. Battery box cover. Not on. That's not a perfect fit. Turn it over, and as predicted, not a sausage. So why would that be? Unless we've pulled a wire off. Heck. Oh! That's moved. The battery terminal's moved. So I'm going to have to whiz the back off and have a look what's happened. I couldn't find a wire off, but what I did find was the battery terminal, after you've pushed it in, it sticks straight up, and it was pushing into the back of the circuit board there. So what I've done is just folded them over, both of them, the -1 and the +1, because the space must be tight there. I'll just slip it back together and we'll see what it does in it. And I think that's why it had pushed that contact up. I don't know yet because I haven't tried it, but I think that's why the battery cover didn't fit before. That's better. So that was why I pushed it together. It pushed the battery contact out and stopped the battery cover going on. Batteries are in, and we have the clock display, time set, hours. All the buttons are working, so it is now 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 5, 6, 8 minutes 54. Long way, isn't it, to 54? Why couldn't it have been 9 o'clock? It would have been easier. 46 for 7, 48, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's now 5, 8:55. That's the alarm I've set. That's the alarm on, alarm off. I need to set me hours and me minutes. What's going on? That's right. Maybe I've got a little fault there, I don't know yet. Right, we'll try the radio now. Aerial. Sounds better with the tuned length aerial, doesn't it?
Dvorak's Symphony No. 8, his
Much
orchestral
better.
masterpiece charged with emotion amongst them.
And the most important thing is, will it get
This together.
A wave goes out from here and it goes like the Crystal Palace Tower.
Yeah.
Bounces off that.
hey, 93.7
That's cable.
Radio 4.
That comes out of here too, doesn't it? Right.
Well, I think
Go underground, that also goes to Crystal Palace.
this ends this unboxing. It works. Got one little thing to sort out, setting of the time, and I don't understand that because the buttons work on everything else. It says time set, and I did that. Alarm set, it does that. I'll have to check that out. Perhaps it's me, perhaps it's not. The buttons work. So we'll call that quits on this one. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. So if you have enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, dislike, and we'll see you again on the next build. I wonder what rocketry's like.